You're visiting Chicago?
Yes.
Cool. Where are you coming from?
Detroit.
Detroit?
Yes.
Not too far. Did you drive or fly?
Fly. Yeah.
I've been wanting to make the road trip out to Detroit.
It's not a bad one. It's just boring.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's very boring driving through Indiana.
Mm-hmm. And they get you with the, what's it called? The
Tolls?
The tolls, yeah, the toll roads.
Oh.
They get you so bad now. I think I drove from Chicago to New York, and I paid...
Well, Northeast tolls are different.
True,
They
but
run
I paid, I think, $40
Yeah.
just through Indiana.
Oh,
One way,
wow.
Just
Oh, my
through
God.
Indiana. It was like 8 of them. And then they got you as soon as you got in, and then right on the state line there was 2 before we got into the next state outside of Indiana. It was so
that's
long.
horrible.
Yeah, they made sure to get you in the pockets on the way there.
Well, yeah, I think you have to pay $20 just to get into Manhattan now. So.
Oh, that's right. There's a $25 fee now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super lucky I missed that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It is.
Especially if you have to go into, if you typically drive into Manhattan on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, that's what actually. I was an Uber driver.
We're trying to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling me, he was like, it's nuts. He's like, if I go to the airport, I pick somebody up, I bring them back. That's $40. I just spend $25 every single time
No way.
to get in. I'm like, oh, so you make $15 on an hour-long
No way.
cab ride. Yeah, forget about it. Do you have anything fun planned for visiting Chicago?
No, I was actually here for some work stuff, and so we're just spending the rest of the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna hang out with family and friends for a bit.
Okay.
But bar hop, you know.
That's fun.
Keep it easy.
All they do is start having a Trump.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Trump Tower over there in
Yep.
Chicago? Yeah, I think they're saying they're going to break the lease so they can get rid of that.
Oh.
Because that's one of the things he always put in his contracts is that if he's going to rent a place there, he's got to be able to put his name
On it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's so funny about like all the Trump Towers. Like he didn't build any of them. They're not actually Trump Towers. They just got his name on them.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like they think he owns them.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a smart businessman to me.
Right. Easy.
He's I would say he's really good at marketing. Definitely not in business though.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Yeah.
marketer.
Yeah, because that's really it. Like creating the image, he's really
Right,
good at.
right.
But actually running the business, he runs them into the ground.
Around.
Absolutely.
Or shams somebody.
Yeah.
Scams them, rather.
Well, that's what I worry about. There's this great book that came out. It's called Everything Trump Touches Dies.
Oh, wow.
And because it's true, he has like 12 companies that he ran into the ground, including a casino, which is like a license to print money, and somehow he ruined that. But yeah, but he's touched the Republican Party, which, as you can see, they're now on their way down
Right.
completely. They're the MAGA Party. They're not even Trump. But then on top of that, he also touched America. So
Yeah, look at us.
so I'm just like,
We have the best economy in the history of the world,
It's
though.
a
Right
history,
now.
Didn't you know it?
That's true. Right now it is. So, but that's the thing. I don't know. I worry just because I look at history and all that stuff and the
Yeah.
collapse of empires. I'm like, well, right around now is when it would happen, and it does happen for the same reasons, which is we spend
That
all of our
is
money on war instead of
Yeah.
helping people. So,
That's very true.
right, we're I don't know. We'll see what
That's very
happens.
true.
Right, and then
I hadn't thought that far, but that's
right.
exactly right.
Yeah, so I think it just seems like we're right here. It seems like it's just, we're on the verge of it. But on the bright side, it took Rome 1,000 years to actually collapse.
And
So-
we're at what, like year 220 something?
Oh no, so like 400 years of the Roman Empire coming about, and then once it started its downhill.
It took 1,000 years
it took
after
1,000
that.
Oh.
So we're fine.
So we
Yeah,
gotta
we're-
endure
we got
this.
a long
I'm ready
way.
for the collapse. But I actually think it would take a long time because so much of the world is dependent on the U.S. dollar as their
Exactly.
reserve currency. So
Exactly. Yes, so we've got a lot of systems in place to to make the collapse
keep it
take
propped up.
longer.
But yeah, eventually people are going to start to lose faith. You can't be like trillions and trillions of dollars in debt and then
Right.
have your dollar be considered the most valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about all those debt and all that stuff. You know that they're factored on a 10-year thing. It's not actually trillions of dollars that's owed. It's trillions of dollars
That
over
will
the
be
course
owed,
of
yeah.
that will be owed.
But the interest is insane. It's
Sure.
like several $100 billion a month.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
I haven't looked at the actual
Yes.
numbers on that, but that's pretty insane.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, I guess because even if it's a percent, billion to trillion is times
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
So if it's at 0.05% APR, that's going to be
Yeah, it's like
500
I think they paid $700 billion in interest.
Wow.
Like that might be quarterly. I don't know if
Sure.
it's monthly, but it might be quarterly.
That's just
crazy.
a big
Yeah,
chunk
it's
of it.
insane,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, "Well, we can't forgive your student loans because it's
Right,
$1
right,
trillion."
Right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Who knows? I know the political cycle is very crazy this year,
Yeah.
and seeing how it all goes. But like, I try and put everything into like the 3,000-foot view of like, let's look at humanity as a whole. The human species has helped each other in order to get to where we are now, in order to be the global species that we are, which
Yes.
is no other species is except rats, I think.
Of course
Right?
they are.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because of us. They came with us, so. But so we're a global species, and we got there through cooperation, through helping each other, through coordination, right? Through advancements in technology being applied globally over time. So all
Yeah.
that stuff is going to happen. So I just see this like American political atmosphere thing happening as like this is just a part of the growing pain to
I
get
see.
to get
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think COVID shows us if something happens in China, it affects the rest of the world
We're
now.
all right.
We're a global
People
species.
kind of turned against each other during COVID.
Yes, they definitely did, and it was that fear and that phobia. But what has to happen at the end of it is to go, okay, we made it, we're done, we survived, we're through it. What do we do now? What's the post-COVID world going to look like? And that's
Here we are.
this is it. We're getting towards it. We're definitely getting towards it. But it's I think we've got a couple of decades before we see what it actually looks like. what it's going to
Okay.
look like. I think it's.
Jeez, I'll be 60.
See, this is you definitely don't look 60 for one, but for two.
No, I would be 60 in a
Oh,
couple
you'll
of
be
decades.
okay. That's
no.
okay.
If I was 60,
Yeah,
you
that
need
math
to do a
adds up.
study on me.
That math adds up. Okay. Yeah, no, and that's really it. I try and look at it too in that way of like the world that I see and that I want and that I think is going to happen is going to be for my grandkids' kids.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I actually think of it. It's like I look at like what's happening here. Here we're at the post, and this is the actual thing, the end of the war on drugs, which was the war on people. That's what's actually ending right
Yeah.
now. And now we're coming into this new phase in the next 100 years, but that's the thing that we're going to go to. And part of that, the war on drugs was a war on people and people of
That's
color.
true,
I'm
it
Mexican,
was.
you know, and that's what it was for. Was they used racism,
Yep.
anti-black people,
Yes,
anti-Mexican
thank
people.
Joe Biden for that.
On top of it, absolutely. I've been saying it since before he became president. Okay, I'm not a fan of either side. I'm not a fan of any side. The whole American machine is going to
It's
destroy us.
trash.
Okay, yeah. So that's where
Thanks,
I stand.
Joe
Yeah. So that's where I stand with it. But it's like we're coming towards that. What's coming? The connectivity, the post-war drugs, and I think a post-racist society, which just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we're not even close to that.
Not even close. And this is what I'm saying. We got
Digging
100,
deeper.
150 years, 200 years, and it's that deeper is the last gasp of that generation of people
well.
fighting and holding on to power and coming
Yep.
in. Because look at them, they're all in their 70s, their 80s.
Mhm.
They're on their way out. We don't live that long. That's not what we're doing. So we're not getting there. So it's gonna pass. And then what's now? I mean, I talked to my kid, and she's super progressive. They're very there's
The Gen Z, they're
Yeah.
they're very, very progressive.
Yeah, and she's 10, so she's, I mean, Gen A, I don't know what the generation
Oh, yeah,
letter
Generation
is B,
Alpha.
who knows? But there's so much more than any of that. And I'm like, oh, that's great. All the stuff I've been saying for the last 20 years that made it to
Yeah.
you, not me. And that's where I had the realization. It's like
That's like what our grandparents saw.
Exactly. Yeah, and so that's the problem. So they're on their way out. They're doing those. That
This has
last
been a
breath.
delightful chat. Quick
I'm glad-
rundown of the Roman Empire.
Right, and
Post-war on drugs, post-COVID, Generation Alpha.
I'm glad you liked it. And you're like, oh man, our Uber driver was crazy.
No, 5 stars.
All right. Well, I appreciate.
Gotta get this out before I kill some brain cells with this vodka.
Oh, there you go. That's great. Let's see here. So going to Ferralis, which looks like it's
Should be right
Right
around here.
all right. You too. It was great chatting.
Okay,
Hope you have a
thanks
great
so
day.
much.
so
Have a
much.
great day.
You too. Thanks.